this fucking thing on?
Everybody comes in your grandmother, everybody comes in your grandmother, your father, your mother, everybody comes in your grandmother, your...
And then they have cans of soup. Soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
Everybody comes in your grandmother, everybody comes in your grandmother, everybody comes in your grandmother, your...
Get your words straight, Jack.
Not good. Believe me, not good. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
And I have a simple proposition here. I'm here to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over if you'd like to see help out. If not, vote the other by.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Hello? Is this shit on? Is this shit on? Is this fucking shit on? Is this goddamn shit on? I think it's on. How's it going, folks? How y'all doing? So yeah, when I was setting the stream up, I was planning on covering Donald Trump's North Carolina speech from the other day, that I like, the one with the backwards pants. But apparently the whole entire stream has been banned from the entirety of YouTube. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. But that's super strange. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I was always like, cause I really want to. But what the fuck? There are 0 on the entirety of YouTube. There are exactly 0 full speeches. So I don't know if I can do that without, you know, getting in trouble, as awkward as that is. I don't care if he's low energy. Like, if this motherfucker is, like, fucking, like, saying ground baking over and over, I mean, that sounds hilarious. Like, my understanding of the rules of YouTube lead me to believe that if, as long as I say frequently throughout the video, or have like a text pop up that says that Joe Biden is the legitimate winner of the election, that I should be okay. That is like the way I understand the rules of YouTube. Like, because I'm sure, like, I want to watch this speech because I'm sure it's full of, like, really good potential sound drops. And it's been a while since I got any good ones. But, again, the rules of YouTube, not, like, you know, I'm not even talking about, like, you know, perception here. The rules of YouTube say that if, as long as you say that the election was legitimately won by Joe Biden, that you're okay. And that, like, Donald Trump doesn't do that in his speeches. And so, like, the raw videos have no, they have no, you know, warnings, because they're just raw camera reels of just us speaking. I love listening to Donald Trump speak. I don't know about y'all, but this motherfucker, like, again, like, evergreen.
Running against
Evergreen,
the worst
like,
candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
That did not age well. I mean, like, so, I love Donald Trump's speeches. I think they're hilarious. Well, Bob, I don't care. Like, you can watch it on your own if you want, bitch. Like, I want to watch it because I think it's going to be funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's hilarious. So, like, that's what I'm in for. A 3-hour YouTube advertisement. Oh, God. I don't know. I'm conflicted. Yeah, but does CBS have a raw video on YouTube because they have a warning? Do they have a raw video on YouTube because it hasn't been flagged yet? Do they have a raw video on YouTube? Like, why? Did a bug just fly into my ear? C-SPAN does not exist, though. That's the problem. Unless you found it, and it does exist. I wonder if watching at 1.5x speed would bypass flags. I'm not sure. The vid would just be your commentary. We have to sync it. Okay. I did the first debate like that. That's fine. We can do that. The only problem is I love to pause it. That's the problem. That's the problem with that shit. Is I pause it too much. Like, that works with, like, a live thing. But my bitch ass is going to want to pause it and laugh for 30 minutes. That's a huge problem. It's a gigantic issue. Speaking of pause, where's Max? Max! Max! Look at him. Maxie! Maxie! You're old. Look how old he is. Hello? C-SPAN has it on their site, but not YouTube. Okay. I don't know if that makes me feel any better about the situation. Look at this fucking beautiful angel. Max, you're a dog. Look at him. What are you doing? What are you doing, dog? What is he doing? How long will it... Okay. Oh. Wow. You seeing this shit? Oh my god. This is what he does. This is what he fucking does. He just does this. He comes up, he licks me, and then he sits down. Like, what the fuck? I know, like, this is like a segment that I do every day, but it's like, holy shit. Like, is it just me? Like, have y'all ever had a dog and then you just don't get over it? Like, I'm like 7 months in of having a dog, and I'm still not over it. Like, look at this shit. Look at this. I'm 7 months in, folks, and I can't wrap my fucking mind around the fact that this dog exists. Like, oh my god. And this motherfucker is gonna be alive for a while, too. A good chunk of time. Look at that goddamn dog. You seeing this? Like, I just, like, poke the dog and they flip around like an animal. I don't know. I might still do it. We'll see. I'll do like the protest recap and then I'll make the decision. Dogs make being alive 500% more bearable. I agree. Catherine, settle down. I think the stream, you do need consent, so I'm going to give it. Like the stream, folks. Press that goddamn button. You stupid prick. Look at this goddamn dog, dude. Motherfucker. Alright, so let's get into the actual protest coverage. And then I'll decide whether or not I'll laugh at Donald Trump. Alrighty, look at this goddamn dog. I mean, fuck. The greatest hits. The greatest hits. I love. Oh my god. Greatest fucking hits. Do I have a smash? I do. God damn it. So, folks, you may have seen some Doom 2 videos hop up on the YouTube channel. That's what I'm putting some of my free time into. I'm going to be doing some Doom streams relatively soon. But right now, I'm just practicing individual levels. Now, that's what I call Trump, Volume 5. Oh my god. That's so good.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Asian carp. I remember when I first listened to that. Do y'all remember that? That was when I was doing when I think I was playing The Grinch. It was like on Christmas, because this was like, he was talking about the fucking $2,000 stimulus. Yo, do you remember? Yo, do y'all remember this shit? Okay. Real quick. Do you remember when the Democrats were like, let's give the people $2,000? Right? And then they gave us $1,400. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone like act like, do you remember that? Like, cause that's hilarious. That is so funny. Like, just the idea that like that happened is just so fucking funny to me. What a disaster of a country. Like, it's like, okay. Now, I've got people that I follow on Twitter that just now got their $1,400. God damn, what a disaster. I got a question. Do y'all think there's going to be another stimulus check, or do you think that era is over? What do you think? That's the thing, is like Trump's like fucking greatest hits, like they're constantly expanding. Like the last major speech was where we got this jam, you know?
Everybody comes in your grandmother.
That was the last major speech, and so like I'm so glad I watched it. No more stimmies. I have the same opinion. There's a lot of people like that actually think they're gonna do another one, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, do you have any idea? Like, do you have any idea what the fuck you're talking about? Right? Bob, would you mind like skimming that video to see if there's like warning labels on it? The idea that we need to do like the idea that we need to have warning labels on our like, why doesn't you know, do y'all remember the fucking warning labels that YouTube itself added to the bottom of the video? Like, if I made a video about 9/11, like fucking YouTube would have like a little 9/11 actually happened kind of blurb. Why don't they just do that with Trump speeches? You know what I mean? Like, it's so goddamn ridiculous, this stupid bullshit. What a dumb fuck goddamn platform. No more Mansion Cinema talk. This is a safe place. That's true. This is a safe place. How many people have died from coronavirus? I haven't checked in like a month. $600,000. Lord have mercy. God damn. What a disaster. Yeah, I very fortunately got all of my stimuluses like within a week. Like, I'm very happy about that. It's probably actually 1 million. Yeah, I don't trust the official count. For sure, I think it's definitely higher. Motherfucker, if other people are doing it, like... God damn it. What is the family care plan? Play the Jimmy Neutron music. Oh my god. That's a great idea. Alright, folks, let's do the protest recap, because I got some news here. Also, I've wasted so much time talking about doing this or not doing this that, like, I feel like if I'm going to do it, I'll do it tomorrow. Like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll skim that motherfucker. Send me their video and I'll skim it. Alright. So yesterday was the 49th straight day of protests in the city or town of Elizabeth City, North Carolina. And we are protesting because the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department executed what they originally claimed was a search warrant, and then they later said it was an arrest warrant. 4 days later, they said it was an arrest warrant of someone named Andrew Brown Jr. During serving that warrant, they assassinated him. The kill shot was through the back of his head as his hands were on the steering wheel. Other important information is that stray bullets from the sheriff deputies hit other police vehicles that were nearby and endangered themselves. They almost killed each other. And stray bullets almost killed a neighbor of Andrew's, as a bullet went through someone's house, through several walls in their house, and was only stopped by reaching a crock pot in the kitchen that's in the back of the home. So those are the important details. The police here are trying to escape accountability. I want to provide, another example. This is one of those cases that is the most corrupt that I have seen with this level of attention. Now, again, I want to remind everyone of the case of Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor's killers were not charged in the murder, but one of the officers present who tried and failed to kill Breonna Taylor and who actually shot into the neighbor's apartment was charged with wanton endangerment. So I want to be using that as a precedent in the red state of Kentucky, right? Now, we are also in the red state of North Carolina, right? And so we have a very similar situation where one of the officers in this situation fired into a neighbor's house and almost killed them. But the district attorney here, Andrew Womble, is not even mentioning that happened. Not even saying it happened and it was no big deal, but he has just been covering up that fact as much as possible. So I wanted to give a little bit of a recap before I begin. This is why we're protesting every day. A couple of people have asked me, why are you protesting every day? Aren't you bored? No, motherfucker. If I were gunned down by a bunch of fucking gangsters, right, I would want people to protest for me. And I would want them to protest for 50 fucking years if they could. Right, so if someone asks me, why are you protesting every day? My answer is, if you died, would you just want everyone to forget you existed? So that's my rebuttal to that. So I want to, real quick, before I start this, there was something that I picked up before the march started. And I want to look through my video files for that. Because it's important information. So let me find this moment. I should have prepared this, but Okay, so yesterday, before the march started, Deputy Chief Jimmy Evans came out and asked us for a meeting, and this will take place today, saying that we should bring all of our questions for the Elizabeth City Police Department. So I want to play this clip here before we begin. Now, I'm sorry if you can't hear it too well, but just bear with me.
Tomorrow marks day 50. It's a very important day in all of this. And we want to work together with you. So tomorrow, probably about 5:30, I think it's a good time. We'll come over here and we can have a shorten down laws on y'all cool with that?
Okay. So, I just want to... This is something that needs to be, like, you know... Like, I don't know, like, this is... If he doesn't come out today... Right? If he just pretends, whoops, don't know what you're talking about, sorry. And this is why I film every interaction with police. Before Deputy Chief Jimmy Evans came out every day to talk down to us, we had Lieutenant Daryl Felton come out there and talk down to us. And I recorded every single time he did that. And every single day, he would lie. So one day he said that we couldn't get arrested on the street, provided that we got out of the street before the warning time elapsed. So let's say you're in the street, they have to provide a 5-minute warning, and if you disperse at 4 minutes 58 seconds, you still can't be arrested. Well, he said that, right? And I recorded him saying that. And then he denied saying it later, and I brought up the video, right? There's another moment where Daryl Felton, the lieutenant, came out and said that we can only block half the street because, question mark, he said that that was part of the way that he would prevent a Charlottesville from ever happening in Elizabeth City. And as we know, what he was referring to was a car driving into the crowd. What that actually ended up happening. And so when that happened, Daryl Felton stopped coming out and talking to us and was replaced with Deputy Chief Jimmy Evans. So I want to be very clear that, you know, I don't trust any of these people. I think they are all human garbage. And you can feel free to quote me on that. If they watch my show and they're like, oh, what's this bitch going to say to us today? Like, I've got my questions ready. Now, I want to bring this moment up, and I'm just bringing this up extemporaneously, so give me a second here. I asked at one point, and I'm trying to find the video, I asked Deputy Chief Jimmy Evans if Officer Parr, the police officer who spoke with the woman who hit us at the protest and then drove out of the way and gave them space, I asked him whether or not they would face any disciplinary action, and he laughed in my face, right? And so I just want to be very clear. I will make that public. I am going to be asking that question again. And so they can choose to laugh at me again if they want, if that is their choice. But I will be asking that question again. And so I'm telling you this right now because I've got a good idea. I've got a good feeling, right? I can't find the video. I'm just gonna, it's there somewhere. I'll link it in the description. I've got a good feeling the cops monitor my program, so I'm just letting you know I will be asking you that question. And if you can't answer that, or if you laugh in my face again, I'm telling you right now, things are not going to be pretty. So, with that being said, I appreciate the fact that the Elizabeth City Police Department is engaging in a dialogue. I wish that they were to have engaged in this dialogue, I don't know, 50 days ago. But, alright, you're engaging with a dialogue 50 days late. Okay. So I'm willing to give them the chance to embarrass themselves. I'm willing to give them a chance to make themselves look stupid. And so, real quick, I want to just place this flag in the ground. I want to place this flag in the ground right here. And again, before we get into the protest actual coverage. But one of the things, and I just want to provide, a lot of people don't know how police operate. So when I asked Deputy Chief Jimmy Evans the first time whether or not Officer Parr will face any disciplinary action, his response to me was, quote, "That is under investigation." That is not an answer. That is not even the hint of an answer. So I want to be very clear, the way that police speak, especially people that are in positions where they can provide answers. And the deputy chief is in a position where he can speak for himself a little bit, right? So, in those specific positions, right, if they say something like, that's under investigation, what that means is nothing. It means you got screwed, they're pretending that you're an idiot, and they think you're stupid, and they want you to stop asking questions. It's under investigation. What is under investigation? Who is investigating it? What info are you investigating? What kind of info do you have for the investigation? What are the possible outcomes of this investigation? Right? So, but when you ask those follow-up questions, they never have answers. So one of the things that police officers love to do is to answer in the vaguest terms imaginable. I asked a police officer why he was doing what he was doing at one point. This was during the day of the car attack, right? And his response to me was, "We're trying to keep the peace." That doesn't mean anything, right? That doesn't mean anything. When you ask someone, "Hey, why is your hand resting on your gun?" "Oh, we're trying to keep the peace." What? What does that mean? That doesn't mean anything, right? So I just want to let you know, this is the way police speak. They speak in vague, just like politicians, because police are politicians in a lot of ways, just a lot dumber, right? They're unsuccessful politicians for the most part. They speak in vague cliches. They will say words and phrases that kind of make sense to you and that don't actually transmit any information. So I want to be very clear here, right? I, on a personal level, will not let any of these police officers answer any questions in any way, shape, or form that does not actually provide any information. If someone says, "Hey, what are you going to do about X or Y?" and he says, "It's under investigation," I'm sorry, bitch. That's not a fucking answer. How about you answer the fucking person's question? Right? And also, I've got my own list of questions, and I don't want to spoil them all. Right? I got a whole list of really good questions for you. Right? So I don't want to spoil them all. But again, I'm letting y'all know right now, because I know that someone is probably, and if they're not, then they really should be, monitoring my page. So I'm letting you know, if you don't have an answer to whether or not Officer Parr is still on the force or faced any disciplinary actions whatsoever, that's going to be a bad situation for you. So I'm just letting you know. Anyway, so after that, we started the protest. And so we go downtown, which is where we start. We start downtown. And so we go through downtown a little bit, the outskirts of downtown, all the way through to Eringhouse. I just want to say I didn't post that many clips on Twitter, unfortunately, because my network, I have 5G. But I don't know how to use 5G. It only says 4G on my phone. Is there a button I have to press? Yeah, it says 4G right now. I don't know. I have 5G. This is a 5G phone, but I don't know. What the fuck? So anyway, I couldn't post clips for an hour for whatever reason. So I apologize. So here's a clip of us at the start of Eringhouse Street, and this is the clip of us at the end of Eringhouse Street. I have some other thing that I want to play here real quick. There was an interesting moment that I captured of someone who was following us for an extended period of time, all the way down Eringhouse Street. They were following us for an extended period of time, and I got some footage of their vehicle, and they were stopped by police at some point in time. So I want to post that here. Okay. So this car, just give me a sec. So this car was following us. This car right here was following us. And then they park. Now this is the grocery store parking lot, for those of you that don't know. They were basically following right behind the police for a portion of time. They were going in other parking lots, just kind of slowly driving along the protest. Now again, none of us know who this is, right? We don't know who this person is, right? So I get a little bit of a zoom in on their character, right? We don't know who that is. No one knows who that is, right? And so there was a later portion where they were pulled over by police, and I think I got that interaction too. So as you can see, they were attempting to follow us once again. And then this sheriff official comes out and speaks to them. And now I want to say that we did not see them for the rest of the protest, right? But still, this car is on our shit list. I don't know who you are. If we know, right? If we know who you are, we don't mind if you're following us. But if we don't know who you are, that's a problem. So even the police, we told the police beforehand when we saw them at the grocery store parking lot. And we told them that we have them on footage, on film, following us throughout the entirety of the protest. And then they finally told them to fuck off. So I want to throw that out there. In between clips, that was a little bit of a situation that was developing. And so we march back down Ehringhaus, and we take a side street. We go through residential neighborhoods. Someone in our community is moving away, and so we went by their house to say hello. I have some footage of that as well, but I'll post that later. That'll be in the future tense. So we marched down the residentials and then entered back downtown, and that was the end of the march. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought the energy levels were very high. Another thing I want to talk about is, if you can see in some of the footage here, we have a lot of our friendly vehicles following us on the sides, right? They've been blocking side streets because again, I'm going to ask Deputy Chief Jimmy Evans about this. The police are not blocking side streets. They pretend to block a couple of them, but they're not actually doing that. So we have had our own vehicles block almost all of the entrances to parking lots, 2 side roads, and it's been very effective. We've had a couple people try to get through, not necessarily, it's hard to measure intent, right? But there's a lot of people that will say, they'll speed up and try to, maybe cut through before the crowd gets there because they don't want to wait 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, right? So we've had a lot of instances like that where if it weren't for someone blocking the side street, not a police officer, right, because they're not there, maybe that could have been a bad situation, So we've had that kind of, community self-protection. That's been pretty good, and I've been enjoying that, so... And we went through the residentials. I love making noises in the residentials because you get people, that aren't necessarily in favor of your movement, potentially upset. And that was good. I would consider yesterday a pretty good showcase. I'm trying to find some more B-roll here. Got some B-ass roll. Yeah, I thought I saw that truck again at another point, but I am now looking at that, and that is not the same truck. But anyway, that was day 49. Today will be day 50, so that's pretty big. And 50 days in a row is no small task. We're going for a motherfucking record here, folks. And I'm just letting you know, what's the difference? If you do 50 days, why not do another 50? Right? You know what I'm saying? I am in better shape now than I was 50 days ago. 50 days ago, my legs were sore after an hour of walking. I was like, oh my God. All right. I had to pick up my leg. Oh my God. Right now, motherfucker, I can run I can run till the cows come home. Right? And then when the cows come home, we're going to fucking, I don't know, hang out and have fun. And have you ever hugged a cow? Because I really want to. Anyway, so I just want to say, the first week is the hard part. Right, and I'm going to do a little bit of a retrospective here tomorrow. But, real quick, the first week was the hard part. There were a couple people that were, on day 4 or 5, are we going to, I don't feel like doing anything. It's been 4 days, 5 days in a row. I don't feel like doing anything. And so we had a couple days in the first week where there were only, 15 of us. Right? And then we had a couple days the second week where there were only, 10 of us. Right? And so, now, and we had a situation where when we had people bust to DC, we had only around 7 or 8 people while it was pouring rain. Right? So we've got a group of people that are willing to hold it down when no one else wants to. And that's the important aspect. Because again, imagine if it were day 5 and people wanted to skip a day or 2 days or whatever, right? Let's say, Andrew was killed on Wednesday. So let's say this was a situation where people only wanted to protest on Wednesday. Okay, I mean, that's still better than nothing, right? But, once people got wind of oh, we've been going for 20 days in a row. Oh, we've been going for 30 days in a row. At that point, you're going for a record. At that point, you're trying to get the most, possible days in consecutively as you can, right? And so it kind of feeds into itself a little bit. So I feel like we've passed that point. I feel like if we were going to skip a day, that would have already happened. We are at the point where this is going to be a regular interaction. with the city of Elizabeth City. There's going to be protests every single day, and that's going to be something that people here are going to have to get used to. That's my position on that. But yeah, today will be day 50. We'll see what the police have to say. Again, they do not, I don't know if they know who they're dealing with. I think they do, but I don't think they care. That's my presumption. And we'll see if they try to spin some bullshit. And you bet your sweet bippy I'll be recording that entire interaction. If this motherfucker comes out here and says, I don't want the cameras on because blah, blah. No. Sorry, bitch, motherfucker. The cameras are going to be on. In fact, if you say that, I'm going to zoom in on your fucking nostrils, dude. Right? So, like, I'm just letting you know. But anyway, I'll keep y'all posted with this. And again, this is a very, very, very exciting moment for me personally on a personal level. I had never... If you would have asked me 51 days ago, I would have never dreamed that something like this would have even been like remotely possible. I figure, when Andrew was first killed, I figured a high-profile police shooting 5 minutes down the street from me, right? That's crazy, right? It's too bad we live in a small town and we can't make anything out of it, but we did. And so, and that's what's incredible is that, we're making sure that people do not forget what happened. Right? There's people that say nothing's going to happen. They're not going to get charged. So why are you even protesting? Okay, that gives us more of a reason to protest, right? I don't understand how boomers can be like, oh, well, the DA said no, so go home? What? What the fuck? Right? I don't know. These people are ridiculous. But again, day 50 will be today, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. And I'll keep y'all posted. My feeling is the police are just looking for a way to stop the protesting. They have no interest in honestly answering questions. I agree with that. Bob? I agree with that. Is that a motherfucking fly in my goddamn room? And you're wondering why your phone doesn't have 5G, and we're the boomers. But yeah, okay, I want to be very clear. Not everyone watches the full podcasts, right? So this is where you get a little bit more unfiltered. There's a couple people that march with us that are related to some police officers. There's a couple people that march with us that went to school with some of the police officers. Right? And so I want to be very clear with my opinion on the subject. Right? Just because this is my blog now. I'm wishing you luck, Alicia. I'm wishing you luck. But yeah, okay. My position is, again, I've got family members that are cops. They're garbage. They're some of the scummiest scumbags. If you were to, give me a top 10 scummiest motherfuckers I've ever had personal interactions with, the cop members of my family, probably number one on that list. Just rot from their core, disgusting, psychopathic scumbags, right? And so I know firsthand what cops behave like, right? Like at home kind of a scenario, right? Now again, there are cops that don't bring the job home. Right? And those are even more dangerous in a lot of ways because they're ticking time bombs, right? When you go out to work every single day and you beat the shit out of people, when you arrest people for smoking weed, right? When you dislocate people's shoulders, when you shoot them, when you tase them, when you kill them, right? Because these cops are killers. We cannot forget that. They are would-be and want to be murderers. You do not become a police officer in the United States of America unless you've got a slight interest at the very least in murdering people, right? I'm telling you this right now, right? And there are people that know cops on a personal level, right? And that's not a good thing, right? And they have heard cops say some really awful shit about the protesters and how they wish they could kill us, right? And so, or like in roundabout, I'm paraphrasing, right? I will, of course, always paraphrase the cops to make them look as bad as possible, right? So again, right? Again, I also want to say Officer Parr, again, spoke with an angry racist. That angry racist was overheard saying if the police weren't here, none of you would be safe. And that officer drove out of the way and opened the road for them as the marchers came in. Right? So I want to be very, 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 very clear. Right? That the cops here are not our friends. And the people in charge, the deputy chief, right, the lieutenant, the chief, their role is propaganda. That is what their role is. They're there to serve propagandist perspectives on behalf of the police. So again, when you ask them, how come one of your officers has racist tattoos, racist face coverings, racist patches on their uniform, how come your officers don't wear name tags? And if they respond with, oh, that's under investigation, that's supposed to make you feel better. But guess what, motherfucker? It doesn't make me feel better. But that does make it, like, if you are, like, let's say you're working for CNN, right? You're going to say, oh, it's under investigation? Awesome! Have a good day, officer. Bye-bye. Because you're a dumb bitch and you don't actually care about the truth. You're just looking for a paycheck. Me, personally, that's not the case, right? So, and I want to be very clear that there's, again, there's a lot of other people that, they just are not equipped to be in the situation that we're in right now. And I hope that they get there. And they are. It's a slow but steady. Like, you get people that, were very upset with the, fuck 12 chants 48 days ago and are now singing along with us, right? So, like, those are things that exist. And so I think that it's just a matter of attrition. It's a matter of strengthening the beliefs and resolves of people that are marching. And it's a matter of winning in a psychological battle of really, again, just, it's a war of attrition. Like, they want us to be tired. They want us to stay home. They want us to feel beaten. And we have to do our best not to. Because, again, power will not give anything up without a reason to do so. Right? We would not have, right, for example, whoa, there's women marching in the streets without their husbands? What the fuck? Right? Without protests, the idea that women should be allowed in the streets, they would all be arrested on the spot. If their husband wasn't there to accompany them, boom, arrested, thrown into jail, right? So I want to be very clear, right? Without protesting, we would not have a society like we do right now. Without protesting, we would be working 7 days a week for fucking a nickel an hour. Without protesting, children would be working to death in slave labor sweatshops, okay? I need you to understand. So Bodan specifically, because you've been posting some stupid, dumb fuck bullshit in my chat and in my DM, so I'm calling you out, right? Like, I'm serious. Like, if you personally are okay with the current state of society, by all means, stay home. Right? But again, I ask you as a gay person, would you want people to protest for your right to go outside and not get shot and killed and thrown into a river? Like, let's say your secret boyfriend was shot and killed, thrown into a river. Would you want people not to protest? Let's say people started to protest. Would you go into the crowd and say, stop it, guys, stop it? I also want to die and be thrown into a river. Is that what you would say? Like, you have to have perspective here. And I know that there's some other people that maybe watch me that aren't all the way in my position, so I'm using Bodan as an example. I'm saying your actions are not effective enough and you need to change strategy. I agree with that entirely. We are absolutely doing all of that. That is stuff, but like, when you bring in the legal system, right, that the whole entire system of law, and it's got its benefits, right, but the entire system of law is really honestly predicated upon taking as long as possible, right? So yeah, we do have lawyers, and we are suing people, and we are moving, but that's like a multiple year-long process, right? And then it's also an all-of-the-above situation, right? It's an all-of-the-above situation where you need to protest every day marching through the streets because that way the community around at large knows what's going on. And then you need to directly do justice actions against police officers specifically. But again, when you do that, right, that can stick it to the man, but also, you know, the community at large isn't going to be informed. And that's why I go to the protest every day. Because again, if I hadn't gone, and let's divorce me, and I don't want to be the main character here, so I don't want to come off in that way, right? But I want to explain why I'm taking this role so seriously. Let's say I did not interact with any of these protests, right? Well, first of all, right, no one would know half the shit that's going on, right? I'm one of the only people that's gotten angles of the protest every single day. In fact, I think I am the only, like, singular human that has been there at every single protest every single day, right? And so I have gotten footage, for example, like, look at the officer who pulled out of the way. If I didn't get that guy's name tag and actions, no one would know who he is. No one would, you know, that wouldn't be a thing. No one would know who that person is, right? You know, and so I want to be very clear that, like, the reason why I'm going out there, Bodan, is because I provide a useful service. I can have a platform, I can record video, right, and I can share it with the world without having to go through media agencies. Because when local news comes down, when mainstream news comes down, right, they will interview us and then pull like one sentence from our 7-minute long interview and try to make us sound stupid and then, like, you know, make us look like we're saying the exact opposite of what we're actually saying, right? And so that's why it's so valuable to have independent journalists and reporters and people filming, because you need that raw footage that actually shows what's going on with no spin. And also, I'm down to spin. I'll spin till the fucking, you know, the rooster fucking clucks or whatever the fuck. I will spin, right, indefinitely. I love to spin, right? Right, and so, like, I think every person has their individual role. We have lawyers that are involved in the movement. Their role is not, like, would I like if they protested with us marching in the streets every day? Sure, right? But their role is to do other sorts of things. That's their role, right? So our role is to march in the streets. Other people's role is to enforce the law. Other people's role is to investigate the police officers. Other people's roles are to sue police officers. Other people's role are to, you know, be, you know, like, you have to understand every single person has their own unique position where they can fit into this like it's a puzzle, right? And I would view protesting as a puzzle with an unlimited amount of pieces, right? If that makes any sense, right? It doesn't make sense on, like, the, you know, an actual puzzle. Like, how does that, like, but, like, you know, you can fit in anywhere, even if it's just you like, let's say that you can't march because you got a bad leg. Well, you can drive your car and block side streets for us so that you can protect marchers, right? Let's say, you know, you don't have a car and you can't leave your house, right? It be, you know, let's, you know, for whatever reason, right? All right, great. You can monitor the police scanner. You can tell us if cops are up to no good. All right, you can, you know, share stuff on social media. You can tell your, like, every single possible person has a role in these situations. Bodan. Oh my god. This motherfucker's gonna write some very stupid ass shit and then dip. This motherfucker's like, hey, I just wrote the dumbest bullshit imaginable. See ya. Like, what? How are you gonna do me like that, motherfucker? Again, Bodan, If your secret gay lover 100 years ago were thrown into the river and people started protesting, you would not be out there and telling them to stop. I guarantee you. You would be right there with them. But because this doesn't personally affect you, you're a naysayer and you're a loser. And I'm going to be very clear, Bodan. I consider you a buddy. I hope you consider me a buddy. You are, and I'm saying this with all due respect, right? And I hope you understand what I mean by all due respect, right? You are an evil, selfish, narcissistic, scumbag motherfucker when you write that kind of shit. What that reads is me, me, me. I only care about me. I want you to stream other things because I don't care about this because I live in Ukraine and I want to watch you play video games. Me, me, me. I don't care if someone in your neighborhood was killed with police violence. I don't care if that could mean that you yourself could get killed by police violence. Me, me, me. It's all me. And if you don't do what I say all the time, then I think you're stupid. That's what you are saying right now. I think it's disgusting. It's evil. It's scumbaggy and it's narcissism incarnate, right? It's just gross. What you are saying is disgusting. And I know you're gonna watch the VOD later, and I'm gonna make sure you watch the VOD later, motherfucker. And you're lucky you ran away like a little fucking kid kicking and screaming. Because again, I'm not gonna mince words, right? You've been watching my streams for over a year. You've been following, and I'm not gonna, if you say something stupid, I'm going to tell you how stupid you are. And I need you to understand that. I need everyone else to understand that as well. Also, it's so hot in my room, and I'm yelling, and I'm screaming. I'm gonna turn my air conditioner on. Yes, I'm sinking. Oh my god. Hello? Hey, bud. I present Max the dog. Max, that's my liver. Felix Cornelius, I will try to speak reason. Oh, Max, you do not have to put your fucking paw there. I will try to speak reason to anyone that's willing to listen. Look at that goddamn dog, man. Anyway, I was originally going to stream Trump's North Carolina speech, but almost every single version of that speech has been pulled for community guidelines reasons, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I am going to think about it and decide tomorrow. I really want to because it's so funny, right? But also, I don't want to get my channel destroyed for that kind of purpose. Bodan said that they were leaving, but we're secretly here. See, that's why I respond. Look at this goddamn dog. Can you believe this shit? I really gotta make a Max coin. What if I made a Max coin, but only made 10 of them? Y'all would have to be constantly trading them around. Anyone want a Max coin? I'm gonna sell some NFTs of Max the dog. You see this photo? I'm gonna sell an NFT of Max the dog right there. Speaking of crypto, El Salvador, I believe, made Bitcoin legal tender. That's pretty funny. They also said that they're going to mine it using volcano energy, which is amazing content right there. How is M Salvador? That's a great question. I'm sorry, I'm laying down right now. I'm just chilling. What's up, y'all? This is the end of the goddamn stream. I know you're just looking at my fucking, like, legs or whatever, which I'm sure that's not a bad thing. But, like, I'm just chilling. I'm laying down. How's it going? This is how I relax. God damn, Bodan with the snide. Holy shit. Great interview with Letterhack. Yeah, I'd like to have them back on the show. Probably when the comic comes out. Look at this goddamn dog. What's up, Gonzo? Anyway, this show is basically over. Right now. Like, I'd say it's basically over. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or concerns? Just chilling on my phone, folks. Just hanging out. Favorite type of bird? $5G is not kicked in. That's what I'm saying, Catherine. What the hell? Alright, Mark. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good time. Yo, there's a motherfucking fly in my goddamn. Will I stream later? Probably not. Damn, Mila. 4.5 hours. That's gonna be a rough time. Why do you get so many files? What? Oh, flies. Well, there's multiple reasons. Number one, my door has a giant space above it. Because whoever installed the door is a dumb bitch. And so, if a flying creature enters the second story, The only option is for them to enter my room. I need to get a new door. I'd rather just get a new door. I'd rather just get a new goddamn door. Yeah, it's also summer in North Carolina, so there's lots of bugs. Like, if you go outside, right, you're going to be going it's getting rough out here. Like, every single day there's new creatures coming out and making my life horrible. Yeah, I'm sure the bugs are attracted to the temperature as well in my room. And it's like that giant space just lets them in. I'd rather just get a new door, though. Like, I'd much rather get a new door. New creatures such as Felton Parr, etc. Yeah, I'm sure Louisiana's a nightmare. Wow. Shuriev, I can block a gap on the bottom of my door. Too bad the gap is on the top of the door, you fucker. Yo, lizards, when I saw my first snake in this fucking house, I freaked. Take off the door, open borders. God damn it. I will never eat that box of cereal. I don't know why it's still there. I've also got like hot sauce that I ended up not liking much, and I got 2 of them. I opened one and ended up not liking it that much, but I got a second one and it's been there the whole time. And then there's just another hot sauce that still not ready. Snake coming out of a faucet. I'm not interested in that information. Just knowing that that's possible is already damaging to me as a person. But seeing that, then it's going to enter my dreams, and I don't want to be in that situation.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Yo, look at like my skin color. I still can't get over that. You see that shit? Like, what the fuck? Like, I have never, like, what? Like, it literally is so bizarre to me. Like, check this out. Look at that. Look at this. White as a motherfucker. Wait for it. What? Like, it's... Oh, Lord. Snakes on tap. Free snakes. Was that a solid or liquid snake coming out of the faucet? Nice gamer reference. Yeah, I'm a gamer, so what? I want to be very clear, folks. I have never had a tan in my entire life. Like, I barely left my house up until this moment, so... like, I was a depressed fucking blob of cringe basically my whole life, right? And then there's a pandemic, and so, like, around the time where I'm comfortable doing things with people and going outside, boom, pandemic, right? And so, like, this is, like, kind of like, you know, the first time I've been outside in this considerable fashion. And so it's so bizarre having a noticeable tan. Not buying it. Well, I got something to sell you, so. I know I'm cringe. Thank you. Alright, folks, I am going to go and do some stuff. That also means eat food, because I'm hungry. Also, my nose hurts. I don't know why, but I've got, like... I don't know. That's a problem. Anyway, though, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't end up doing the Trump speech like I originally planned. It's just... like... I don't want to be in that situation. I think the whole YouTube censorship thing is so ridiculous. It's so fucking goddamn. Dave's insanity is very hot. I like it. Anyway, folks, thank you all. Raw peppers and hot sauce. I'll see you all again very soon. Letterhack, do you want to do like a competition where we eat hot sauce? Cause I'm down.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce. A lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce. A lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother. Everybody comes in your grandmother.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce. A lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
We've ended the war on American energy. We were in war. And we've ended the war on beautiful, clean coal, one of our great natural resources.
They weren't coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 billion to combat Asian carp, $2.5 billion to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
They're coming all over the place.
It's not they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right?
I'm about to be 34 and I have no family.